There is a technical reason behind Kevin O'Connell's obsession with a certain quarterback profile, and it is not what you think. While everyone debates Mac Jones in Minnesota, nobody has explained the real factor that made this topic explode behind the scenes in the NFL. McCarthy has the worst QBR among starters in 2025, but the problem goes far beyond the numbers you already know. What Mike Florio revealed about the Vikings' internal conversations exposes a technical flaw that separates a functional QB from a still unstable project. There is a scouting detail involving mechanics, timing, and field reading that analysts simply ignored, and it is exactly this detail that O'Connell needs to save the 2026 schedule. The direct comparison between McCarthy and Mac Jones changes everything once you understand what truly matters in the Vikings' offensive system. Stay with me, because now I will reveal the real reasons, the technical data, and the decisive factor that nobody is mentioning. And this is the point that explains why Mac Jones might be the only move capable of saving Minnesota in 2026 if McCarthy does not develop by the end of the season. This does not mean McCarthy cannot be the franchise quarterback, but he may need more time to reach his potential. Now, let's get straight to it. Mike Florio, insider at Pro Football Talk, left no doubt when he stated last week, "There's already chatter in some circles that in the 2026 offseason, the Vikings will explore trading for 49ers quarterback Mac Jones." This sentence alone already set off alarms across Viking Nation. But what makes this information even more impactful are the numbers that support this real possibility. Mac Jones played 9 games for the 49ers in 2025, 8 as a starter, and the results speak for themselves. 2,151 passing yards, 13 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and an impressive 69.6% completion percentage. More than that, Jones led San Francisco to a record of 5 wins in 8 starts, proving he is not just a luxury backup, but a quarterback capable of winning games in the NFL. Meanwhile, JJ McCarthy has accumulated numbers that terrify any front office. 26.6 adjusted QBR, which is the worst among all qualified quarterbacks in the league in 2025, a passer rating of only 61.7, and a completion percentage of 52.9%. McCarthy has only 2 wins in 5 starts, and what should have been a development year has turned into a statistical nightmare. The comparison is not just unfavorable, it is devastating. Jones is in the top 10 in the NFL in QBR with 61.3, while McCarthy is in the last position. Jones completes nearly 70% of his passes. McCarthy barely passes 50%. Jones has 13 touchdowns against 6 interceptions in 8 games, while McCarthy has already thrown 8 interceptions in only 5 outings. We love JJ McCarthy, but pretending everything is fine in the Vikings quarterback room is impossible. Kevin O'Connell needs a quarterback who can execute his system with precision, timing, and quick decision-making, and Mac Jones proved in San Francisco that he possesses exactly those qualities. Florio reinforced, for the Vikings, it could make sense to bring in a veteran who would compete with JJ. McCarthy, the top 10 pick in 2024, hasn't done enough to have the presumed starter role next season. What makes Mac Jones even more appealing to Minnesota is not just what he is doing in 2025, but the technical profile he has carried since his days at Alabama. When Jones left college in 2021 as the 15th overall pick in the draft, scouts had already identified his biggest strengths: solid mechanics, steady throwing base, accuracy at all 3 levels of the field, and the intelligence to avoid forcing passes when the window is not open. The 2021 scouting report described Jones as mechanically sound, possessing a good base as a thrower and delivering passes with a clean stroke, and highlighted that he was smart with his decisions and won't force passes if he doesn't have ideal leverage for the throw. These characteristics are exactly what Kevin O'Connell looks for in a quarterback to run his offense built on timing, quick progressions, and precise pre-snap reads. In San Francisco, Jones showed that those college traits translated to the professional level when properly coached. Against the Los Angeles Rams in Week 10, Jones delivered a clinical performance: 33 of 39 passing attempts for 319 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a passer rating of 115.7. His 84.6% completion percentage in that game made him only the third quarterback in 49ers history to complete 30 or more passes with 80% or more accuracy. Even more impressive, Jones has thrown 2 or more touchdowns in 3 straight games, something he had not achieved since 2022 with the Patriots. The Kyle Shanahan system in San Francisco and the Kevin O'Connell system in Minnesota share identical DNA. Both require quick reads, perfect timing with receivers, and the ability to operate no huddle efficiently. And here's the data that scares everyone. Jones has been exceptional specifically in 2-minute drill situations. Against Arizona, he went 5 of 7 for 59 yards on the final drive that set up the game-winning field goal, and he went 6 of 9 for 53 yards on the drive before halftime. Against New Orleans, he went 7 of 8 for 77 yards and a touchdown on a 2-minute drive before the break. Jones himself explained his efficiency in these situations. "I love it. I enjoy it because I think it takes thinking out of it, and you just go out there and play, and you get into a rhythm." Now here is the point that stings in Minnesota. JJ McCarthy is simply not executing the basic fundamentals that a first-round quarterback must master. An anonymous scout revealed to ESPN that McCarthy's issues go beyond the bad numbers and are rooted in serious technical flaws. His fundamentals and technique have apparently led to accuracy problems and a whopping 8 interceptions in 5 starts, said the report. 8 interceptions in 5 games is an alarming number for any quarterback, but for a top 10 pick in his second year, it indicates that something is structurally wrong. Meanwhile, Mac Jones is doing exactly the opposite. Since taking over the 49ers, Jones is the 4th best in the NFL in passing yards per game with 281.5, has 4 touchdowns against only 1 interception, and holds a QBR of 65.8, which places him 8th in the league during this stretch. Jones's ability to protect the ball while maintaining offensive production is what separates reliable quarterbacks from developmental projects. McCarthy is also failing in the clutch situations that Jones is dominating. Before 2025, Jones had a terrible track record in comebacks, only 1 win in 10 opportunities when his team was down by 1 possession in the final 2 minutes. But against Arizona this season, he finally broke that curse and led the game-winning drive, admitting afterward, "I failed a lot in that situation, to be honest. I really was just motivated to change the narrative." This self-awareness and capacity for evolution are signs of professional maturity. McCarthy, on the other hand, has shown flashes only when the game is on the line, but disappears completely in the first 3 quarters. It is one of the strangest things in the NFL right now, as described by a Purple PTSD analyst, a 22-year-old passer whose green light only turns on when the game is on the line. Minnesota cannot build a franchise around a quarterback who only functions when he is backed into a corner. The timing for Minnesota to bring in Mac Jones in 2026 could not be more perfect because of a financial reason that changes everything. Jones has only 1 year left on his contract with a cap hit of $2.3 million and a base salary of $1.4 million, according to Over the Cap. This means the Vikings can acquire him likely for a mid-round draft pick without compromising cap space and still have room to keep the core of the roster intact. Florio was direct. The Jones contract is an asset that can become a draft pick or 2 in 2026. If the 49ers want to make a clear statement of support for Purdy, they'll trade Jones and find another backup who can run the Kyle Shanahan system. San Francisco will not keep Jones as an eternal backup when Brock Purdy is healthy and coming off a massive extension. The logic is simple. The 49ers will turn Jones into draft capital, and Minnesota may be the perfect destination. But here is the real game changer. This move would replicate exactly what happened with Sam Darnold in 2024. Darnold spent a year with the 49ers learning from Shanahan, arrived in Minnesota, led the team to 14-3, and secured a 3-year, $100.5 million deal with Seattle. Kevin O'Connell has publicly said multiple times that Darnold's time in San Francisco was crucial for his career reset. Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated connected the dots perfectly when he wrote that bringing in Jones would be a way to bring in competition for JJ McCarthy and provide a layer of insurance at an affordable rate for a loaded roster should McCarthy not ascend through the rest of this season. The key word here is insurance, but in reality, based on the numbers, Jones would not just be insurance, he would be the starter. McCarthy has 7 games left to prove he deserves to be the QB1 in 2026, but if he continues with a completion percentage under 55%, a QBR in the 20s, and interceptions at an alarming rate, O'Connell's decision will be obvious. Bringing in Mac Jones is not a plan B. It is a necessary course correction for a team that is wasting a dominant defensive line, an elite running game, and a competitive window that will not last forever. What few Vikings fans realize is that Mac Jones has already won the hardest battle any quarterback can face in the NFL, resurrecting a career that seemed dead. After leaving New England in a toxic situation and passing through Jacksonville without making an impact, Jones arrived in San Francisco as a total reconstruction project, exactly like Baker Mayfield, Geno Smith, and Sam Darnold did before him. And the results in 2025 prove he is no longer that lost quarterback. Jones is in the top 11 in the NFL in EPA plus CPOE, according to RBSDM stats, surpassing names like Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield, and Justin Herbert. Nick Bosa, the 49ers defensive end, admitted he did not know Jones before he signed in March, but it did not take long for the locker room to fall in love with his personality. He's just fun energy. To have a backup quarterback who has that much swagger, the offense feeds off of it. Kyle Shanahan also praised Jones's ability to play through pain when he aggravated a knee injury against Arizona. The way he came back on the end on that last drive, he was unbelievable, even scrambling around when his knee was bothering him. This mental resilience is what separates quarterbacks who become journeymen from quarterbacks who earn a real second chance as starters. The math is brutal, and Kevin O'Connell knows it. Mac Jones completed 69.6% of his passes in 2025, while McCarthy barely reaches 52.9%. Jones has 13 touchdowns against 6 interceptions in 8 games. McCarthy has 8 interceptions in only 5 starts. Jones led San Francisco to 5 wins in 8 opportunities. McCarthy managed only 2 in 5. The $2.3 million cap hit makes Jones affordable, and the fact that he has just 1 year left on his contract means Minnesota can acquire him for a mid-round pick without jeopardizing future finances. Albert Breer connected the dots perfectly. Bringing Jones would be a way to bring in competition for JJ McCarthy and provide a layer of insurance at an affordable rate for a loaded roster. But the reality is even more straightforward than that. If McCarthy does not show dramatic improvement in the 7 remaining games of 2025, Mac Jones will not be just competition or insurance. He will be the starter in 2026. The Vikings have a competitive window right now, an elite defense, a dominant running game, and a brilliant offensive head coach. Wasting all of that while hoping a quarterback with the worst numbers in the league magically improves would be negligence. Mac Jones is the solution Minnesota needs, and Mike Florio's rumors are only the beginning of this story. Thank you for watching and see you soon.